All right, everybody, what's up? This is going to be an instructional video on how to do mind maps. In Studio Art, we've been using mind maps for several years now, just to help students come up with ideas, help conceptualize, help get personal, all those things. So I kind of did a version of what I'm asking you to do. And I did it in a notebook, I did it in my sketchbook here, and I'm gonna do it big and kind of talk through and explain what I was doing, what I was going for, okay? So this particular mind map is for the project called Breakdown. It's a unit that I posted this morning. It's a giant assignment, and we're just gonna take it one step at a time. It's got station rotations, things like that, but the first station is mind mapping. So what we're going to mind map here is first our spirituality, religion bucket. Also in the middle here, I'm going to put myself. All right, so I'm putting me here in the center. I got spirituality. Up here, I'm going to throw race and gender out here. And I'm calling those buckets. So it's a spirituality bucket, race, gender bucket. I'm going to put my passions, interests, you know, the things that drive you, things that you love. And then cultural tastes is one. Cultural taste, what is that? Cultural tastes are actually like the kinds of media that you consume. So like culture, like movies, art, music, things like that. So you're kind of your cultural tastes. You can think of them that way. The books that you like to read, the stories you like to hear, the shows that you like to binge watch on Netflix, all that stuff. So that's your kind of cultural taste. You're drawn to something, right? Drawn to certain shows. All right, so I got cultural taste. My other one is the last bucket is values. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of show you what this looks like. I put little arms out to them, but that's what I'm working with. Okay, me is in the middle, and then all those buckets are kind of out. In order to map your mind, we'll start with one. I'm gonna verbalize and talk through my thoughts. I'm also gonna write those thoughts down. That's what mind mapping is. If you've ever been in English class and your teacher asks you to do some free writing, right? To get ideas of what you're going to write about. Free write is to write down all the thoughts that are in your head right now at this very moment. And we use that a lot in art too. So when we're doing mind mapping, it's kind of doing the same thing, except I'm saying race and gender. Okay, what are all the things that come to mind there? Okay, race and gender. Okay, well, I'm white, I'm male. And in the context of me and who I am, my identity, I'm gonna think white male is how I navigate the world. How I navigate, so I'm kind of writing that. It's how I navigate. It's also, there's certain privileges that come along with that, with being a white male. And if you don't think that the privileges are obvious, they actually are. You can think of your white male privilege in terms of what kinds of fields in society are kind of white male dominated. So as I said in my introduction presentation the other day, art is a white male dominated field. There's a ton of female artists, right? But the really famous one, if you look at a list of like the top paid working artists, people who get to work and do art for a living, top 40 are usually male. Things are shifting a little bit in our culture. There's some black males who are probably earning a lot of money, taking care of themselves. But it's always been this kind of white male dominated. The list of top 40 artists in the United States are usually white male, even though there's a ton of women that go to art schools. But to be able to like make it, to like get paid to do the work, it's been white male dominated. So that's definitely a privilege. White males kind of dominate skateboarding, like I said. Flip through any skateboard magazine and it's just white dude after white dude after white dude, you know, black dude, that's it, you know. And very few women. There's a ton of women skaters, but they just don't get the same press. So there's something going on there. Other things, so just trying to think about my privilege, how I move through the world. I'm kind of freer than certain groups because a lot of these institutions are white male. Art museums ran by white guys. Most banks and CEOs, Fortune 500 companies ran by white males. So being a white male kind of gives me a little bit more freedom and movement in the world. So that's what the privilege is. And so for race and gender, that's just kind of how I navigate the world. And I'm using that bucket just to think about like awareness. Awareness to my race and class. And I'm trying to think too, because I was thinking about navigation, I was thinking about movement. So I'm going to probably put that there. I want to move on to cultural taste. You know, it's connected. The stuff I like comes through my socialization as a white male. Again, I'm not saying that I'm a problematic person. I'm just saying that like I have to be aware of these things, right? Aesthetics are things, when I think of cultural taste, there's a certain look to things that I like. I like things that look a certain way. And so I like certain music. I always talk about punk music. Punk has a certain look to it. Skateboarding has a certain look to it that I really like. And so my cultural tastes are kind of like that. I like things that are a little less mainstream. I would fall into kind of a hipster category of white maleness. And my artistic taste is kind of cultivated through my classes in art history, but they're really informed by like music, like punk and hip hop, and skateboarding, right? Also too,